Hey guys, welcome back to Mike's World. Today I'm going to be taking a look at an item I am extremely thrilled about. I cannot wait to get this thing up and use it. And it's this right here. This to me is the ultimate HD TV outdoor antenna, something that I think you're going to want. So the great thing about this antenna is it's very small, and it also will mount on an existing pole or mount on your roof that you have, like a dish, DirecTV or dish. So you can see here on the side of my house, I have an old dish. It hasn't been hooked up in maybe 8 years, but I'm going to pull the dish off of the pole, and I'm going to use the pole to mount this outdoor antenna. And I'm going to show you that process sped up through time lapse because it'd take forever to try to explain it all. You can just watch. But basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to unbox this because there is a little bit of assembly that's required for this to put this together. Then we're going to cut, go outside, go set up the camera, and I'm just going to do a time lapse of me installing this on the existing mount for a satellite dish that's on my roof. So let's get started unboxing. One of the things you're going to notice really quickly about this is outdoor digital TV antenna, very small. I mean, it's a little bit bigger in the size of my hand, honestly, when we get it together. You're going to see here it says strong signal. This is supposed to be able to pick up to 300 miles. Don't know if that's going to be the case, and I can't test it because I do live in the city, in Oklahoma City. And I already get about 60 channels on my indoor antenna, but some of them chop up, they're breaky, pixelated. So hopefully this is going to fix all that. I don't know how this would work out in rural areas. I'm guessing that if you get it up high enough, it's going to work great. It is amplified, so we'll see that in a minute. Wire comes in, and then it can split off to 2 different TVs, which is great because with my TV, I've got a receiver box with a built-in DVR, and then I want to split it, also have a signal go directly to the TV. So if I'm recording something on the box, I can also watch on the regular antenna on the TV and basically have a DVR where I can DVR one thing, watch something else, kind of like the old school VHS VCRs. The other thing you're going to notice, 4K. Now the problem with, yes, this would put out a 4K signal, but I'll tell you right now, nobody across the country that I'm aware of, local stations, is sending out a signal over the air in 4K. Back when they changed from analog to digital, that's when most stations up to HD, and the government actually subsidized and paid for those transmitter upgrades, so the stations didn't actually have to pay for it, and that's how you have HD. The cost associated with upgrading to 4K is astronomical, and I don't know of any stations that have actually done it because the government's not going to pay for it this time. They're going to have to pay for it. So while it could pick up a 4K signal, understand nobody out there is putting out 4K, and a lot of the over-air stations are still doing 480 SD or 720. Fox, our local Fox station, 720p. So and others are 1080i. So just keep that in mind. 4K, you're not going to get it over the air, most likely. So just a little bit more about the box, and now we're going to unbox it. I have not opened this yet, so seeing it for the first time with all of you. So here is how it comes packaged. We'll have to look. I'll have to read about what some of this stuff is. So it looks like we have a tube that might be some kind of a mount. There's a coaxial input, so I'm guessing this goes outside somewhere. We'll see. Comes with a very long coaxial cable. Not really sure how long that cable is. Let's just go ahead and let's get a pocket knife, which I actually just recently did a review on, so you can check out that video as well. Just to get this opened. Gotta be careful that I do not cut the cables. That would be bad. So let's see what we have here. That is some pretty tough plastic, I gotta be honest with you. Pretty tough plastic it's wrapped in. Coaxial, there's a cover here. I'm guessing this part goes outside because it's covered. And then you have inside as well, we have, let's see here. All right, so here's the big coaxial. Not sure how long it is. We'll get it out and look at it. And then this is the power adapter, the amplifier basically. And you'll see the antenna plugs in here, and you have 2 outputs to a TV. This primary one is a built-in coaxial, and then you can actually run a separate coaxial cable from here to a second TV or box or whatever. So, and it looks like it also came with a USB power cable. So this power cable clearly is going to plug in here to the side of this. And so you have to keep in mind that this will need to be powered by some type of USB device. Now, on my TV, I have two USB imports and they both will power devices, but I currently have it powering a Google Chromecast, and the second one is powering my GameStick 4K. So I'm either going to have to, one of those is going to have to go to an AC outlet using a little AC adapter brick because I don't have three imports. So we'll figure that out later when I plug it in. You then have this little plastic. This is plastic too. These are, you know, these kind of a cheap plastic, but hopefully it's all fine. I'll have to read the directions. I don't know what this is. So we'll put that aside. And then we have the metal constructed antenna, which has to be assembled. And this ring actually is how it's going to attach to the pole. So I'm guessing this is the front cap, and these are the little wing fronts. So I guess these would go into this. This probably somehow goes in. But looking at the box, whoops, bumped the camera. So I'm guessing that this mounts to the pole, and the ring goes around here, pole goes here, and so this would mount in the back. You have the big ones mount against here, and then I'm guessing this probably mounts here or here, like that. We'll see how that works. Yeah, right like that. That pops in right like that. Not going to do it yet. And these front ones mount here. So that's about how far it sticks out. And so it's pretty decent size, but need to get this together, and then I'll come back and show it to you put together. Then we'll go out and put this thing up. All right, guys, so this is the outdoor antenna put together. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was compared, but overall not bad. This thing is actually easy to assemble. Took less than 10 minutes. And if you flip on this side, so these three panels all just, these three panels all just snap together. Then the plastic piece snaps in. You add your bracket to mount, and then here's your coaxial. It'll come out to the ground. So when I mount it, I'm going to want to make sure that I mount it this way so that the coaxial is coming down. This middle piece snapped in, and then these two front pieces slide in, and a screw went in in here, and then the cap goes over the top. So 2 screws, Phillips screwdriver. If you already have your Phillips screwdriver ready to go, it's going to be it's going to be pretty quick. I mean, the slowest part for me was going and finding a screwdriver. So very easy to put together. So I was going to shoot a time lapse putting this up. Instead, I'm just going to get it mounted, show you what it looks like mounted. Here's some video of my dish. Again, the dish on the roof before we install this. We're going to use the pole, and then we'll go right out of this, and I'll show you this once it's mounted and everything's hooked up. All right, guys, so I just went ahead and took the whole pole off the roof. Obviously, the mounting base is still up there, but I took this all off, and I've got the antenna mounted right now on the pole. I've got it set directionally, so it's going to point where I want it to point once I've got everything mounted back up. And the directions say to have this cable and the connector on the bottom, but I did it on the top so that the wire one could go through the pole, and also so this cap comes down over top of your connector rather than coming up from underneath, and that should seal it, keep all the water out from there. So let's get this mounted, hooked up, and we'll be ready to go. All right, guys, as you can see behind me, I've got the antenna up. It's mounted. It's on the pole that the dish was on, and it really wasn't that hard to do. Really, the hardest part was trying to feed the cable through the existing hole where the coaxial cable had gone for the dish. And so I had a little bit of an issue getting it through the wall. That took me a little while. I would say overall it took about 2 hours to put the whole thing together, just because also I had to spray some carb cleaner on some bolts to get them loose on the roof. But as you can see, it's up there. The antenna farm here in Oklahoma City faces roughly southeast from our house. I've got it actually pointing directly south. Beforehand, I had about 60 channels, but some of those, even though they scanned, they didn't show up. After putting this up there and getting everything hooked up and scanned, I've got about 72 channels. That includes 14 low power digital channels that I never had before, which flipping through has some pretty good programming on it. So overall, I think this is one of the best outdoor antennas you can get. It's lightweight, it's small. You can use it with existing mounts if you had a dish or something before, but it also has a mount, which I'll put in the description, a link to that, which you can buy to mount on the side of the house. And I think this is an excellent outdoor antenna. Hey guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, like the video, leave a comment, and always hit that notification bell. You'll know every time I put up a new video. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Take care.